Let's take some time to take in a couple deep breaths, just feeling your inhale and feeling your exhale. And we'll start to drop the head over to one side and just breathe into the neck. Allow the shoulder to drop. And slowly begin to draw up to center, a little pause, and then let it drop over to the other side. Just breathing into any tension. Notice any tension you're creating and let it release. Drawing back to center, and we'll begin to let the chin drop down towards the chest, allowing space to come into the neck, in between the vertebrae, breathing deep. Drawing back up, and then we'll draw the chin in before we lift it up. Just a little stretch in the front of the neck. Take it to your comfort level and then draw it back. And then we'll open up the arms. We'll turn one palm up and one palm down. And just begin to flip one palm up, one palm down, feeling the shoulders rotate in the socket. And then after that becomes comfortable, if you'd like, you can start to turn the neck along with it. Taking an exhale, you might even blow into the one hand as you speed up. And just let yourself get a little fun, a little silly, and let it go. Let your hands come forward and you can paw yourself down to the floor. You might just let the head fall heavy, or you might sink into that spine. You can give it a little sway side to side if you need to help release. Swaying is good for the nervous system to relax. You might walk the hands over to one side, stretching through the ribs or that side. Breathe into it. And prepare, use the core to tighten, drawing yourself over to the other side. Use the hands for support. Release, breathe deep. Coming back to center. You can draw up by tightening the belly or using those hands. We'll cross the legs in the other direction, and then we begin to take our seated cat-cow. Let's take one in each direction really slow. So that cat and then the cow. Move at your own pace. You might like to move fast. You might like to move slow. So take it to your comfort level, but feel it and see if you can start the breath before you start the movement. So begin to inhale before you lift the chest, and begin to exhale before you draw in. Cross it over, taking one hand to the opposite knee. The other hand comes in the back onto the fingertips, tinted fingers, lifting up through the chest with an inhale, zipping in through the belly with the exhale, rotating. You might look over the back shoulder. Breath. Release. Back to center, crossing over on the opposite side. Tinted fingers in the back, lift up long spine. Allow the breath to exhale, twisting through the core. And you can twist through the neck if you'd like. Deep breath. And releasing, slowly coming back to center. We'll take a side stretch, side bend, reaching up, and then we're going to reach down towards the floor, so curling open and close. Open and close. So we're working through that side waist, the ribs, closing the ribs, opening the ribs. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Drawing yourself up and then drag down through that elbow. Squeeze those back muscles. And then the elbow draws down and the hand comes to the other side. We'll do the same on this side. So again, closing and opening. Take the breath with it. So the exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Dragging down through that elbow once you come back up. Pulling down through those muscles, engaging them, and then landing finding in the center, we'll begin to claw and paw ourselves forward. Drop as heavy as you would like. We've got our legs crossed in the opposite direction this time, so it might feel a little different. And just breathe. That's the most important part, is finding the breath. Anytime we lose the breath, we've lost the purpose, we've lost the yoga. Bring yourself back up. And then we're going to shift ourselves into that tabletop position. So the wrists are under the shoulders and the knees are under the hips. And we'll just take some cat-cows here. So just lifting up. And again, we'll practice that drawing in through the breath before taking the movement. As you close, feel the belly button draw up and into the spine, and as you open, feel the collarbone. As we round over, you might feel the shoulder blades pull away from the spine. And as you open, you can let yourself move side to side. Maybe let go of the neck this time. Just let yourself sway, release. And stabilize. We're going to thread the needle. So we're opening up and then closing through. And we're going to pump through this a few times. So feeling a squeeze and feeling a stretch. A squeeze and a reach through. Inhale and exhale. You can rest into it. Just be careful how much pressure you'd like to rest into the neck. Of course, breathe while you're there. As you come out of this, you want to press into the floor with the stable hand, draw through the core. Place that hand down and we'll do the other side. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread through. Again, pumping through this, getting a twist. Take it to whatever level you're at. And threading through again. You choose how much pressure you'd like in your neck. Breathe into it. Notice how much tension you're creating, if it's helpful or not. Stable hand guides you up. Stabilize those hands, and then we're going to thread through towards the front. So reaching across, digging into those ribs and into the lats a little bit more this time. Rest in. You don't have to rest all the way down for this one. It's a little bit more challenging for some. Just some deep breaths and then stable hand. Press it in so you can slowly guide yourself back up. Situate that hand and the other side, reaching up in front. Exhale as you reach through. Inhale as you open. And again, as you rest into this, you don't have to rest all the way down. Just take it to wherever it feels like it might take your breath away. We want to still be able to breathe in whatever posture we put ourselves into. Stabilizing the hand. We have one more. We're going to reach back towards that knee. Save this one for last because it takes a little bit bigger twist. Watch that breath and just again, take it to the heights that you can. You might not come all the way down. If you do, this can cause a little bit more pressure in the neck doing it from this angle. So be gentle with yourself, practicing ahimsa, non-violence in our yoga postures. And then on the other side, open and thread through, getting that reach through. Breathing deep. Practicing gentleness and breath. Drawing back up. Again, we push into that stable hand and we pull up through the core. Placing the hand down and stabilizing. We're going to take out one foot, rest on the toes, and level out the hips. Then begin to slide out the other hand, the opposite hand, and draw back in. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Just a little balancing of the spine, one foot out, opposite side hand slides out. Take a breath and then slowly draw it back in. We'll do it again. We'll slide out with both this time. Maybe give it a little lift. You don't have 2, draw it back in, hand and knee, opposite side, slide out. See if you can do it simultaneously. And draw back in. 3rd time's the charm. We're sliding out. This time we'll try to lift. You might hover the floor, you might lift it up. We're gonna hold it this time. Keep leveling those hips. Try to level the shoulders. You might point the fingers and point the toes. Reach out through the top of the head and breathe. Notice your core. Try not to let your lower back divot in too much, and then draw in. The other side, slide out. Again, you can stay on the floor. You might barely lift. You might lift up high. Don't overlift. We want that extension in opposite directions. A strong spine, level hips, level shoulders, deep breath, and draw back in. And of course, I'm sure you're craving it. Take those knees wide, push your bottom back, rest yourself in child's pose. If you'd like, you might flip the hands over and let the palms open. This rotates the shoulders open in a different way. Just different options. If you're looking for something new or different, maybe you bring the hands together and you can place them at the back of the head, or you can place some gentle, loving hands on the back of the neck and shoulder region. Breathe. Let go. Draw yourself back up. And here we're just going to shift forward into a kneeling plank and then back to child's pose. So you might imagine you're like the Little Mermaid and you're looking over your rock, and then you're pulling back safe to home. Splashing open and pulling back. Then you can add a little bit more free flow to this, taking it to the side to stretch out those hips and lumbar. Keep the breath, and then we'll pull the elbows in and chaturanga lower down. Splash open through that chest again. Breathe. Draw the shoulder blades back towards the spine and then release it down. We'll take that cobra a little bit wider. As the hands come out, we get a little bit more squeeze, a little bit more back muscles. Bringing in a little bit more attention to where you might be hunching over all day. See if you can wave through that spine. Find the breath, inhaling up, exhaling down. Draw the hands back in, close to the ribs. Push yourself up and back into that child's pose. Again, options. Maybe you flip the palms up. Maybe they come behind the head or rest at the back of the heart. Allow yourself to breathe, and you can settle in with yourself or repeat.